So what's going on? How's everybody doing? Y'all give me one good second. Waiting on the connection to kick in, and I'm waiting on a few people to pop up. Y'all come on in 1 second, please. Alrighty, my apologies for that. I had to get myself a little situated. Didn't realize I was late, but I'm here. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Belkin Fantasy Football League. It's your man Tony D, aka the Random Multi Broadcaster. Kicking this out amongst my folks. Doing a little broadcasting for the Week 17 of the NFL's 2023 NFL season. All right, last night's game. Dallas barely beat Detroit. Barely. I actually thought that Detroit was knocked out of the playoffs. I was wrong. I'm going to send that out to everybody. That's my apologies. My mistake, my error, my faux pas, all that good stuff. Detroit is still in, so congratulations to both of those teams for making it. I still think both of those teams got to win playoff games to be relevant, but right now, they both had a hell of a season. Detroit should feel no loss, no detriment. Damn sure shouldn't receive any disrespect. Outstanding record. One of the biggest issues in the NFC this season, and they're looking good to go through the postseason. We just got to see them make it. That goes for them and the Cowboys. Excellent regular seasons. You're seeing the postseason. Now you got to endure the postseason. So from that point on, we'll go from there. What else we got going on? Checking on my connections. I don't think any of the co-hosts are going to make it. I know Rich said he probably won't be able to. Family's in town. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a Happy New Year. I may be back up before New Year starts. But, in the event that we don't make it, everybody be safe. Do your best to enjoy yourselves. Work on progression. Definitely growing, getting better, remaining stable, becoming more comfortable, all that good stuff. Best wishes for the new year. I'm going to go ahead and get this ball rolling, see how we can get the games going and predictions, recommendations, and everything. Fantasy football fans, these are recommendations and suggestions for each position for Week 17 of the 2023 season. This is the second season of Belkin's Fantasy Football League and all that good stuff. And, of course, we got this guy, Bernie, my man Bernie from down there in Australia. No, we do not. You messing with Bernie. What's up, man? I appreciate you coming through. All right. Quarterback recommendations, stardom and sit-ems for Week 17 of the quarters of NFL.com. They recommend starting Dak Prescott. The Detroit Lions, I would have done it. Like I said, this was last night's game. I would have done it. I don't even think it's a question as to whether or not you should have, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to start Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. He's doing good. His numbers look great. Damn all the criticism against him. Seriously. Period. That end of story. The narrative is on the screen for those who are watching. If I talk too fast, I've been told I do. I just try to get to the point. They recommend starting Matt Stafford against the Giants. I don't have any questions. You got to be kidding me. Of course you do. Of course you do. They recommend starting Kyler Murray of the Cardinals against the Eagles. You're going to have to, because the Cardinals going to need any and everything that they got just to play against the Eagles. Not even to beat them, just to play against them, because the Eagles going to come for you. Injuries or no injuries. Issues or no issues. The Eagles are coming for you. You have got to start Kyler Murray against the Eagles. C.J. Stroud of the Texans against the Titans. C.J. Stroud should be back. You might want him on your roster. I know he has given me good numbers. Even on teams when I was losing, his numbers are great. When you do fantasy football, people tend to look at the game. You got to look at the numbers that are accumulated during the game and during each play. Win or lose for the final score, fantasy football is recommended for how they're playing the game. A lot of these players, even though they're on losing teams, get great numbers. Remember that. You need to. I had to learn that myself. Stroud clear concussion protocol. Yep, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. He should be starting today. If you need a streaming option, Derek Carr of the Saints against the Bucks. The Saints aren't having the best year in a lot of people's eyes. I know Derek Carr will put up numbers. Derek Carr is another one of those quarterbacks who puts up great numbers during the regular season. I can understand the streaming option recommendation very easily, even against the Buccaneers. And in two quarterback leagues, Nick Mullins has thrown for 714 yards and 4 touchdowns in his 2 starts for the Vikings. Turnovers have limited him to 17 and 16 and a half fantasy points in those games. Still, if he starts, the production is too good to ignore. I have to agree, especially considering Minnesota's playing the Packers, who were just lit up by the Panthers. Ooh. 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 Mason Rudolph, he should start in place of Kenny Pickett. Mason Rudolph's going to be good as a quarterback for the Steelers. Honestly, he's going to be. Issues or no issues, he will be. He will give you numbers if you leave a quarterback to do or to give you numbers. Tyrod Taylor can add valuable points with his legs, of course, because Tyrod Taylor is a dual threat offensive player, quarterback and wide receiver. Will Levis will be a fallback option against the Titans, who will get lit up through the air. Yeah, I'll check on Will Levis if you want to. I know it was recommended that he should be the beginning or the future of quarterbacking for the Tennessee Titans. I'm not sure yet, but this is his rookie season. Quarterbacks that they say you should sit. Tua Tagovailoa against the Ravens. I wouldn't. Number one, I'm not sure who the backup is for the Dolphins. Number two, Tua wants to play. He's out there, and they're enjoying the time with him. The Ravens defense, play with it if you want to. I'm very guilty of not giving them enough credit. And now we're entering the playoffs. The Ravens are 12-3. Play with them if you want to. But if I was looking for quarterbacks, I got to take two. Even against the Ravens. See what your other options are, but for the love of God, they say sit him, I got to take him. Trevor Lawrence, I got to take him against the Carolina Panthers. Even though the Carolina Panthers are 2-13, Trevor Lawrence still feels like he has something to prove, and he's going to stand his ground with his team. They say sit him because of his numbers. I get it. Yes, he was injured not too long ago. I get it. It makes sense. If I don't have any options, I got to get him. I got to. But Lawrence has been ruled out for Sunday's game with a sprained shoulder. Yep, sit Trevor Lawrence. Deal. Jacoby Brissett of the Commanders against the 49ers. The 49ers are going to light them boys up. That's all there is to it. The 49ers are going to light them boys up. And if they don't, we'll talk about that later on. The 49ers are going to light them boys up. Sit Jacoby Brissett. I like Jacoby Brissett as a quarterback. I remember him when he was in Indianapolis. I like him as a QB. I actually told Glick last season Jacoby Brissett should be found with the Browns. I think he saw what I was saying, regardless of the numbers. But the 49ers should light these boys up. You have to, but they're going to light them up. You might want to sit him. If you don't have any other options, get him. But Lord have mercy. Gardner Minshew against the Raiders. This is actually kind of controversial to me, in a good way. We like Gardner Minshew as a quarterback. I'm looking at who he's up against. The Raiders seem to have resurged. Indianapolis has too. This might be one of the games of the day, ladies and gentlemen. They say don't start him. They recommend sitting him. Let's be clear. Make up your own mind, because I ain't going to get you in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your quarterback recommendations for Week 17 of the 2023 season. Of course, at NFL.com, we are now going to go to the running backs. Start them and sit them. Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions and David Montgomery of the Lions. They say start them against the Cowboys. I understand. I would request and pretty much let everybody know, check your numbers from last night for these two players, especially against that Cowboys defense. I'm curious as to how they did do. I didn't look into it myself. I know I need to, but I can see why they said start them with no problem at all whatsoever. They recommend starting Jonathan Taylor of the Colts against the Raiders. We just talked about this. Zach Moss is out, I believe. You got to start Jonathan Taylor. There shouldn't even be a question, even against the Raiders. You have to. Austin Eckler, the Chargers against the Broncos, no-brainer. By now, at this point of the season, a lot of these recommendations are going to seem like no-brainers, but you also need to check your options on your rosters. Free agent market, waiver wire, even trade offers with other members of the league. Look into all that, but definitely Austin Eckler. Start him against the Broncos. DeAndre Swift of the Eagles against the Cardinals, that's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. Easy. Anyway, Ty Chandler of the Vikings. Start him against the Packers. I know Chandler disappointed last week and potentially eliminated some fantasy teams in the process, but he had the toughest matchup a running back could have against the Detroit Lions. Chandler did play 65% of the snaps, even though he saw just 8 opportunities. He gets a much better matchup this week against the Packers, who have allowed the sixth most rushing yards to backs this season. In total, they have allowed the ninth most fantasy points per game to backs. There you go. That's the purpose of the recommendation. That's why the narrative is on the screen. That's why I leave it up there for you to read it, even though I may have my own mind made up. Here is the reasoning and the narrative up to the position that they took. I'll give my own as well, but respect for them giving it up, especially when they give you info you may not be aware of. Period. If you need a deeper option, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren of the Steelers against the Seahawks, absolutely. Whew. If you ever give Najee Harris the ball enough, you'll see why I stick with him as one of my starting running backs in the fantasy football league. Over last season and this season, probably season before. Definitely. Seahawks are tough, though. I'm not going to sleep on the Seahawks. Seahawks are tough. Sit them. They say sit Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford had a good game that night. Somebody check those numbers if you can against the Jets. The Jets are out. Ugh. I told everybody at the beginning of the season they'll be lucky to see 500. I didn't want them to prove me right, but I thank them. I really do. Chuba Hubbard. Sit Chuba Hubbard against the Jaguars. I'm not sure about this, but the Panthers have no faith in them from a lot of people right now. The Panthers look abysmal. They true. The Panthers look abysmal. Terrible. They're killing it. They're killing everybody. I've been watching them since they came into the league. Them and the Jags. They had a good run. The Jaguars had a good run. Both of them look ridiculous right now. That's right. I said it. The both of them are looking ridiculous right now. Khalil Herbert of the Bears against the Falcons. This should be an interesting matchup. The Bears have surprised people, whether you have faith in them or not. The Falcons are actually having a good season to me, even at 7-8. I have to give the Falcons credit. I normally give them a lot of criticism. I got to give them credit. They're sitting right at 500, right around that number. They've been doing that all season, which means to me that they've been an improvement over how they have been before. So it's back and forth, off and on, but they're kind of consistent, and I will credit that. Whew. A.J. Dillon. Sit A.J. Dillon against the Vikings. That's only because they split the numbers between the backs, in my opinion. They split the numbers. But they say sit him. I kind of want to challenge it, but I understand. We got Michael Bathurst in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your running back recommendations for Week 17 of 2023 season in accordance with NFL.com. Mike, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on? I just finished quarterbacks and running backs. What you got?
Not much. Just kind of easing into my morning. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, a lot went on last night though. That was wow. That was a mess.
That was a good game.
Did you enjoy the game? What was it about the game that you liked?
Back and forth. Tough defenses. Down to the wire. Wasn't a blowout. It wasn't an easy win. I didn't like a lot of the referee calls, though. I was kind of with everybody else. Things are looking ridiculous with the referees. They
A
truly are.
lot. A lot of controversy.
Plenty. Seriously, plenty. Quarterback recommendations. Go for yours.
You talking to me?
Jesus Christ, are you going to wake up?
um.
Send it here, and then you get here and like, huh?
Yeah, I'm easing into it today. A lot of people have been talking about Josh Allen
Mm-hmm.
and how he is peaking at the right time of the year, and all
Uh-huh.
the pieces around him are peaking as well. I
Uh-huh.
don't think we should ever underestimate Patrick Mahomes.
Ever. I agree.
I think he still has what it takes to be a world class athlete any week, and I'd rather see them peak now than not peak at all.
I think he should be warmed up for now.
His problems are not so much with him.
I agree.
It's the pieces around him, and and even with Jalen Hurts, who has been playing well enough considering he's been injured the whole year, like literally the whole year he's been injured. I love Miami's chances only because Tua it has been healthy, and he's not hurt. The other thing is too, this is the first December, I can remember where, you know, the Ravens had a quarterback because he's always been hurt in December.
They've always had a quarterback. He's been hurt, like you said. It seems like he's more protected, even though he throws himself out there. I think he's being more supported. Plus, they want to keep him. Remember, they're about to get rid of him beginning of the season. It's kind of.
Well, that was only because they didn't want to pay him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're going through that right now with other teams. I bet you they're looking and going, do we need to pay? Like, there's this wonderful team. A good friend of mine loves the Browns. And at the beginning of the year, I think his name's Tony, he had said that there would be the rising of this superstar. And he was right. He just got the name wrong. He had the team right. And there's this Nick guy named Joe Falco who has
Flacco.
risen.
Flacco.
I
Stop it.
know. I know.
Flacco.
I'm
Stop.
messing with you. That's the only name you hear right now. Is Flacco. Flacco this. Do you know they were screaming his name in the stands
I saw that
repeatedly to the point where
because
he was almost getting misty?
he should have got Misty. I bet you he think people vote him off, and he's still good, and he's in a
He's
system that's working.
he's
God bless him.
humble. He's humble and he's in the right place. He's in the right place because if he does throw an interception, the defense is good enough to get the ball back. It's not the end of the world if he throws a couple of interceptions. And they needed to have that kind of wide open offense because they have so many injuries though. But everybody's playing injured. Did you know so many people were injured yesterday?
Specifically, no, but you're right. By now, most people are injured. I agree.
We have people in the comments here.
Charlie and Our Life podcast was good in my league's championship game this weekend. Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes. Oof. I want to say Brock Purdy, even though Patrick Mahomes will put up better numbers. I want to say Brock Purdy because the Chiefs keep showing so many flaws.
Mm,
Um, that's actually pretty tough because Christian McCaffrey can run the ball more than Brock Purdy could throw it. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people. That's a very by the numbers and for points. I got to tell you, Patrick Mahomes. But to me, right now, I want to say Purdy.
me too.
Patrick Mahomes has been furious for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're not scoring more than 20 points.
That's fine. I'm in the same dilemma. I'm a diehard KC fan of my team.
Where you
But
know and I know that there's a good chance that the 49ers could end up with 40 points today.
there's a great chance the Chiefs could put up 40 points. They could have been
They,
playing us out and start putting the numbers up there like there's nothing like they've been doing.
yeah, I don't think so. They're now having to play like a defensive team, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
You always keep Kelsey tight end. Let me be clear, Charlie. Don't you take him out of that tight end position. I don't give a damn what the numbers are. Don't you take him. He is the number one tight end in the NFL. Do not take him out of that position. Do not. Exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the question. And these were the comments we were going through. My bad. Charlie,
I say Brock Purdy. I would go with Brock Purdy.
my first instinct is Brock Purdy.
Yeah, only just because right now, um, and it's don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting Patrick Mahomes at all, but he just does not have the weaponry that the 49ers have. Like you imagine, oh my God, Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback for the 49ers. So it's not him. He's lacking weapons, and the weapons he has around him,
Walter White, how you doing, sir? Thank you for coming
most
through.
most of them are hurt.
Right. As soon as I start Purdy, PM 15. Exactly. Exactly. That's the dilemma. I agree. Walter, I appreciate you coming through, man. How's it going? Harden and Pacheco are playing today. Yeah, you see, here's the thing. Let Kansas City start feeling themselves. They're gonna blow the game out the water.
I
They're going
don't
to play the game
agree.
number one. Yeah,
I
Pacheco's
don't.
not playing. Miko Hardman is a sleeper pick. They talked about him 2, 3 seasons ago. He can play. I don't know what the hell was going on with him. He left the team. They brought him back one of his first plays. He got excited. They will rally behind Miko Hardman. Let him get the ball. Watch what happens. I'm telling you.
Tony, last year, this team was, you know, at best okay on defense, okay, right,
Mhm,
and about mid tier on offense, about mid tier.
mhm,
This year, they're among the finest defensive teams. Like assembly, they're doing great. Their numbers, if you look at the numbers,
mhm.
they're unbelievable. They just have lost their way.
Who?
And
Chiefs?
well, but both teams. So let's be real. The two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year have both lost their way.
I disagree.
Oh, I do. I think there's major problems defensively right now with our dear friends the Eagles. They're not the same. They're
It's
not
simple like
you.
that, Charlie. There you go, Charlie. That was it. EB was the difference for that offense. Can't convince me otherwise. You know who EB is, right? Michael.
What's that? Go ahead.
EB was the difference for that offense. You can't convince me
Oh,
otherwise.
you were talking the coach.
No, I'm talking to Charlie in the chat. This is what he said. EB was the difference for that offense. You can't convince me otherwise. Do you know who EB is?
Yeah, he was the coach.
He was the offensive coach.
Yeah, he was the guy that was
Eric Bieniemy. Eric
he was
Bieniemy.
all over them. Yeah, he was all over them.
Now here's my thing. By now,
Hmm.
if somebody else is calling the plays, one of your most hard-hitted things in football is to mess around and do what you got to do to make sure what happens, and the offensive coordinator can't say nothing. Right now, they played the season the way the offensive coordinator wanted to play. If they want to get back to the Super Bowl, they already know what the hell to do.
What are you saying? Bring him back?
They already know what the hell to do. Andy Reid can take over because he knows what to do. Players got to be healthy. We don't know that entirely yet.
Yeah, I don't think
Kansas
they're
City
healthy.
Chiefs want to go back to the Super Bowl and they want to win. I'm quite
Are
sure.
you a fan, Tony?
No,
That would
quite
that,
sure they are going to make a turnaround starting now.
well, it better be now.
Nagy's been my Kansas has turned. Yes, yes, I've been hearing that too. Actually, talked about that the other night on Late Night Parents with Ted Hicks. My man, Mike Patton, he does a podcast at AFC, touring the AFC South. He came on there. He told us that. He told us that it's Matt Nagy's fault, and I hate to put it on any one person. Yes, you got to follow the leadership of whoever the coordinator or the coach is, but they're about to get back to the Super Bowl, and somebody better start pulling the Nick Saban and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this my damn self.
So, who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl?
I had changed my mind from Kansas City to Miami, but yesterday,
Hmm.
Miami, the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, Charlie, you heard exactly what I said, Charlie. I appreciate you, man. Yesterday, I got the news alert that Jalen Waddle has a high ankle sprain. So Miami's two top receivers are not 100%.
Right.
Kansas City, you have no faith in. I'm gonna listen to you all season. All jokes aside, whether we get our differences or opinion or not, Mike, I always tell you. I can remember when you say your stuff, when Brian says stuff, I try to keep all those notes in my head on purpose. AFC wise, right now, it's probably going to be the Ravens. Right now,
Yeah.
because they look like they're running on all cylinders, even though they don't have Mark Andrews. And they got backup running backs. I remember we talked about that a couple weeks ago. They got backup running backs out the wazoo. The Dolphins should be going if the Chiefs aren't 100% or if they're, I'm going to go ahead and say, messing around. But their two top receivers are hurt or not 100%. I got a problem with that. It kind of makes me want to bring down my support of them a little bit.
I like what he said without Hill. Yeah. Well, you imagine them with Hill again.
With Hill, they was going. It was no brainer. But see, Tyreek Hill ain't 100% right now. KC wasn't
No.
supposed to make it without. Oh, they were supposed to make it without Tyreek Hill, and I will challenge that because, and I'm gonna get to wide receivers once we finish this because that's gonna be the next position we recommend. Lucky two big boy. You want to say hi? Remember silver hair guy? Yeah. Remember silver hair guy? No, he hiding. He tired of being on camera now.
That's good. That's good.
Go ahead. Where was I? AFC teams. I thought the Bengals were going to come back when Browning was showing out in his first game.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to dwindle. Right now, the safest bet in the AFC looks like the Ravens. Right now, NFC wise, on the bed on the floor when you fell them off. But check over here. The NFC wise, I had the Eagles in my original recommendation. Right now, Dallas is looking good. Detroit is looking good. Damn it. Everybody got to get past San Francisco. We're just gonna stop the buck right there. Tina, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming through. All right, I don't filibustered enough. Let me get to the wide receivers. Mike, stay on top. Stay focused.
I'll try.
I know. That's why I had to tell you again.
Okay. You know though the last 3-4 days I've been a little bit under the weather, so I'm
I know you're
just.
sick. Just remember what I told you. Stay focused. I tell you like you tell me.
But I wanted to be here today, so
No, I wanted you yet. That's why I sent you the invite. I appreciate you popping up. All right, y'all. Wide receivers they recommend starting for Week 17 2020 season. We're starting off with Shira, the Chiefs at the Bengals. No brainer. The Chiefs are rallying behind him being their pretty much number one wide receiver. Um, Charlie, you're good. Great question. I want the questions to come in. I appreciate that. Rashi Rice against the Beagles, up against the Bengals. This is a no-brainer. And Mike, I did say this earlier. By now, some of these recommendations should be no-brainers to any and everybody. It really should, because we've been talking about it all season.
hmm
Everybody should know where they're at.
have you heard the latest breaking news?
They're on
Um, Raheem
Mustard,
Mooster,
Mustard.
I know,
Jesus,
master and servant. Go ahead. He is going to be inactive against the Ravens.
that's not good. So
No,
once again, you got three of the prime players on the Miami Dolphins that's hurt:
right,
Raheem Mustard, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. The Miami
yeah,
Dolphins just might not make it. Exactly, Charlie.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And A Chain is not good either. His ankle's not great. Um, Barely practiced this week because of knee and ankle injuries.
Mhm.
Big loss for the Miami Dolphins. Absolutely.
Say that narrative for the end. I'm glad you did all of that, and I appreciate it. And I'm gonna show you why when we get there. T. Higgins. They recommend starting T. Higgins against Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another no-brainer. We're talking about the top players on the top teams going up against each other. This is a no-brainer. Please focus on that. Brandon, now you let me tell y'all something. If you don't know this man's name, Mike, don't you interrupt me either. No disrespect, don't you interrupt me. If you don't know this man's name, when they were in the Super Bowl last, I saw him play. He will be on my roster, even as just a flex, one way or the damn other, and I don't mean on the bench. You want him on your fantasy football roster. Do you all hear me? You want him on your fantasy football roster. That man is a beast. I see you, Charlie. You better start him. Matter of fact, you should have been starting him. And if you got a loss on your roster or on your schedule during the year, it's probably because you didn't start him. I'm here all day. All right, Mike. I'm sorry. Let me keep going. Against the Commanders, no brainer. Nico Collins of the Texans. If he's back and he's healthy, he's not a problem because Tank Dell is down. You got to start Nico Collins because CJ Stroud is going to be back. This is what they need to make it happen for them to at least see the playoffs.
How
Seriously.
healthy is he going to be, though?
Collins didn't
CJ.
score a touchdown. I don't think he cleared concussion protocol.
I
That's all.
know, but he's going to be rusty. Come on. It's been a couple of weeks.
I'll tell you what. This is rookie season. He went through protocol. This is one of those times where I understand when people do things that people accuse them of doing, i.e., cheating, taking steroids, oxygen chambers, extra therapies. Damn it, go find a massager that got mad at Deshaun Watson and go use them. He
Yeah.
was trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm
hmm
gonna just be
Oh,
real. I'm
yeah.
not mad at him. I get it. Just don't be on no damn vibranium that we can't get because some of us gonna want some of that too. But that's a whole nother topic. Let's see what we got next. Nico Collins against Texas, absolutely no brainer. If you need a deeper option, Brandon Cooks of the Cowboys against the
Oh,
Lions. I really would have done this. Brandon Cooks has been in the league for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. He was actually with the Texans. I remember having him on my team, pulling him off of the waiver wire one year. He wasn't getting the numbers he was supposed to. Him and Will Fuller the fourth, I believe, were former Titans players that I used to pull up the waiver wire. I would see good numbers, and then they would tank on the numbers. They were so off and on, back and forth. 49ers are in. We got JT. JT, how you doing? Mike, this is one of your people.
well, thank you for being here. That's not necessarily true, but
She said 49ers are in and will beat all of y'all asses. Game on. Let me tell you something, JT. I believe you, but y'all also got messed up last year with injuries. I hope don't nobody get hurt. So calm your cocky ass down. But I hear you.
Do you know what I love about this year?
What's that?
Nobody really knows what's going to happen.
You're not
Nobody.
supposed to know it all any every year. The Patriots aren't in there. That's why we're happy.
Last year though there was more certainty. Come on.
Yeah, a little bit.
Last year there was a lot more certainty
No, it
than there
wasn't.
is now.
No, it wasn't. Because
Everybody
the
thought for sure
49ers were going to shake the whole thing up
no,
until
a
they
lot of
called
people
it.
thought Philly had it right from the beginning.
If the 49ers would have been healthy, Philly wouldn't have won. They
And
wouldn't
guess
have
who?
won.
And guess who won?
The Eagles went and the Chiefs got given the Super Bowl. I said it.
Oh, oh, there you go. There you go. He's feisty today. I like that.
I got some sleep.
Did you good for you? Brandon Cook, by the way, this year has been phenomenal for the Cowboys. Unbelievable. Fun to watch too.
Hey, Charlie, you keep your notifications on. I appreciate you since we first met. You've been around. I might come on tonight. I might not. It's New Year's Eve. I can't make no promises. The family wants to do a group call. I might do something early. You'll see it when I pop up, man. I appreciate you. Happy holidays. Be safe, man. Stay in touch with the brother next year for real. We're gonna do something. Don't worry about it. Take care of yourself. Mike, say goodbye. You
Peace.
senior citizens. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with some of y'all. Brandon Cooks has been doing excellent this year with the Cowboys. He has looked great as a wide receiver with Dallas. He's looked better with Dallas than he ever has with the Texans. Maybe you agree.
I like him. I think he's solid.
I
I
don't know
think
if this
he's.
dude is eating breakfast or a cough drop. What are you doing over there? You get on me for eating on camera. Look at you.
I'm good. I'm rocking. I'm a little sad about this game. I feel like it was taken away from Detroit.
I think it was a great game. But you know what? Detroit is still in the playoffs. I actually thought they got knocked out, and I was told I was wrong. They're still in the playoffs. So
Can you believe that that was so tight? I thought for sure it would be a blowout,
no,
like a high scoring game.
I'm glad it was tight. That was actually good to me. How about those Chiefs? Peace and happy new year, you too, man. Here's the thing, Mike. If you're not watching these games closely, you don't see what they're doing. They're making sure they're competitive. They're making sure they're unpredictable. If you haven't noticed anything this season, that's exactly what's been happening. Everybody's been competitive and unpredictable. Matter of fact, if you thought you had a safe bet, you were proven wrong on more than one occasion this season. How many times have we talked about things that happen here, things that happen there,
Yeah.
and what was unbelievable? And then I'll go ahead and throw it in afterwards. Even the referee calls.
How many points were the Cowboys in favor? Do you remember?
No, I didn't look at the point spreads at all.
But they were. They
I
were
didn't.
by bet.
Yeah.
So if you did bet yesterday, Detroit, you probably won
Excuse me a second.
because
Excuse
because
me a second. Hey, Helen, how you doing? I'm okay. How are you doing? Oh, look, what are you talking to Mike? Happy New Year. I hope everything is good. Mike does look like he's been crying, doesn't he?
he's been suffering.
Oh
It's
my
it's
God.
it's called cold. No.
Anyway, Brandon Cooks is
Anyway,
doing good. I thought he was going to do great. I would have taken him on my roster even against the Lions. I would have. He's had a good year to me. He really
oh,
has.
I think he's one of the best players they have.
I think he's one of the more endured wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's worth anybody's trade value. I think he's worth anybody's need for a wide receiver. I
He's
don't see
still
it.
really fast,
Yes, and he catches the ball. I like him as a wide receiver straight up.
and he doesn't fumble.
Right. Rasheed busts, boom, and busted. They come, but he went boom last week. There's another great matchup this week against the Bucks, who have allowed the most yards to receivers and fourth most on deep passes in particular. Jameson Williams. I forgot. I haven't heard that
He
name in
was
a
a
while.
bullet. He was a bullet.
I have not heard his name in a while.
Well, he was phenomenal for unbelievable.
Marquise Brown is tough to trust, but he brings the upside. Boyd Dorr should be a top alternative option if Brown sits. Brown has been placed on injured reserve, so we can forget about Marquise Brown. Remember the names Rashid Shaheed and Jameson Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out. Greg Dortch as well. Sit-ems, wide receivers that we should sit this week. Stephon Diggs of the Bills against the Patriots. I would not have done that. Mike,
No.
that's your team. There's no way in the hell I would have said Stephon Diggs against the Patriots. Ain't no
Oh no,
way.
he's wonderful. The problem with him is he always gets double covered.
Excuse me a second. I haven't been crying. He hasn't upset me. I'm actually doing pretty good right now. I'm only at 30 minutes. I'm halfway through. He hasn't pissed me off yet. I hope everything is going well with you.
Happy New Year, everyone. We're we're
Absolutely.
we're very close, and we're
Listen, And
and
I'm going
we're
to talk about that
and,
at the end too. We're going to talk about that at the end, Mike. Let me finish, damn it. Write this stuff down. Every time you want to say something, write this stuff down. Let me get through this first. Let me get through. I got you, bro. I got you. You're gonna need more than that pen because you ain't got nothing for the shit you want to say. I would not sit Stephon Diggs against the Patriots. Ain't no way in the hell, but they do say so. They have the reasons why. The narrative is on the screen. They recommend sitting Drake London of the Falcons
no
against
way.
the Bears. You know that may be because of the Bears defense, Mike. I can't lie. Drake is great. Drake wants to get out there, but they know he's the number one wide receiver target for that team.
I would play him.
Go
Sorry.
for it. Go.
No, I would. I think he is peaking right now and doing phenomenal.
Absolutely.
He's one of the most exciting things I've seen in the last month or so, and he
Pause.
looks healthy, unlike most receivers.
I think he is healthy. I remember when he got drafted. I got friends who are Falcons fans. A lot of praise around him. A lot of praise around Bijan Robinson. A lot of praise around Kyle Pitts. Those are three of the newer players on that team right now. A lot of praise. I wouldn't have sat him, but I can understand that based on the Bears defense. I
Yes,
wouldn't have done it. Deontay Johnson of the Steelers, they recommend sitting him against the Seahawks. I can't because Deontay Johnson is still trying to break out and get numbers. I don't think he's got enough numbers yet as a wide receiver, even against the Seahawks. I understand where they're coming from. I wouldn't have done it personally. Now, with Mason Rudolph starting, that would have been like, hell no, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to bench him. Mason Rudolph is ready. He knows that offense is pretty much the best quarterback the Steelers have right now. He pretty much is. We talked about that last week.
yeah.
Um, Josh Palmer, the Chargers, sit him against the Broncos. Last week, he finished with single digit fantasy points. He needed a long broken play the week before to come through for fantasy and just can't rely on that. So he doesn't get the numbers. A lot of these players don't get numbers. You can't rely on them, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your wide receiver recommendations for Week 17 in accordance with NFL.com for the 2023 season. We will go to tight ends next, but Mike had something to say. Mike, go for it, please.
I think this is the time of the year where so many players that you don't even know their name
Mm-hmm.
step up and make the big plays because we're now into second, third, fourth tier receivers. Well, okay, well, I don't know what
I'm
that
pulling
was.
off my screen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It reminded me of let me clear my throat. But right, exactly. I was wondering what you were doing there. He's got the Windex going. So right now, if you look at any team that has been a championship team, be it baseball, football, anything, always people end up finding ways to win. And yesterday, I felt when I watched the Tigers, the Lions, they needed to be more aggressive and they needed to be more stable, but somehow they found a way to win at the end. I think you're going to see a lot of games like that make no sense. That's, like Brown was unbelievable. Was unbelievable. And yet they said sit him. He was one of the star players.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
and everybody's hurt.
It's the end of the season. It's natural to the game. Some sort of injury, some type of injury is natural to the game. Par for the
Okay.
course, if you will.
Where are we headed now?
Tight ends. I'm glad you're done. It was pretty good. You actually narrowed it down within 2, 3 minutes. I'm proud of you.
I did.
David Njoku. They say start David Njoku of the Cleveland Browns against the Jets. I have spoken on this man as a tight end on more than one occasion. I think he actually had a good game this game. This was Thursday night's game, I believe, correct?
Oh,
Um,
he's powerful.
Yes, he is. Shout out to Glick. I saw you talking jump. I saw your post. Shout out to Cam. You're in the league. Both of you are in the league. I saw a lot of what you said. I saw y'all got jokes. It's all right. It's all right. The Browns are having a good season. I've actually said that the Browns should be in a better position to where they're at in the NFL as forwarded to the standings, and they should have seen the playoffs. They're seeing the playoffs. That's good. I said the Jets weren't going to make 500. They'd be lucky to see 500. You see the record. So I was right. You were right. We'll see your ass next season. And I said that I'm going to have my jersey, my hats, and everything. I'm going to have all my smack talk. I'm probably going to buy a brand new bottle just to lay your ass out next year. But Glick, y'all won. Big ups to the Browns. Cam, I'm going to see you. Carolina ain't doing too good, and I support them too. We're here all day. They recommend starting Sam Laporta against the Cowboys. Mike, did you see this game last night entirely, and did you see what Laporta did?
Oh, he was phenomenal.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Do
he
you
was.
see the size of the thighs on him? Like
I'm not looking at men like that. I just watched the
he
game. Damn it.
he is a muscular beast. He really is unbelievable. And you know that he was
Pause.
no
Go ahead.
he he was one of those real rare acquisitions that nobody saw, and yet they saw it. The Lions saw the potential of this player. Nobody was excited about him, and now he's like this gem. He is this gem. He has a great chance of being, I would see, top three rookies of the year, and yet he wasn't
I like
thought of.
him and Puka.
Yeah, and
And so,
Puka wasn't supposed to be able to make it. I have a really cool clip I'm going to try to save here for you at the end of the show here, but it is about the last individual we just talked about here.
how long is the clip, Mike?
It's a couple decades, but
You
no.
and Brian. I don't have time for this. Anyway, let's go.
Where is Brian?
Probably busy. It's New Year's Eve, man. It's New Year's Eve. People getting out the house. Isaiah Likely of the
Are
Ravens.
you going to give me permission so I can put it in the side here and then you
When I
can play
finish,
it later?
Isaiah Likely of the Ravens against the Dolphins. You have to start him. You have to roll with that. Honestly, Brian spoke on Isaiah Likely before. He has been shown. He's been proven to be right.
Oh,
Big up.
he's been amazing the last
Yes,
3 weeks.
yes,
Unbelievable.
yes. Yeah.
He's showing he belongs there.
He's in the position that the third best tight end in the NFL is in. So he's got to show out. Big ups to him for real. The third best tight end being Mark Andrews. Um, Darren Wall of the Giants. Last week was a rough end of the year for Darren Wall managers, but if you survive, you'll be rewarded with a big performance in championship week. The Ravens are in the top five in yards allowed to tight ends on the year. They've given up the second most touchdowns and fifth most fantasy points per game to the position. Covering tight ends may have been a weakness for the Rams defense all year. Darren Waller is one of those tight ends I keep a watch list on the waiver wire. He's also one of those tight ends I'll put on the bench just in case. He's been in the game for a minute. He's one of the better players out there, but he's got time under his belt, even against the Rams. If he gets a touchdown against the Rams, that's going to be a damn shame against the Rams defense. I said it, and that's being for real. But he can endure. He will go. Hang on, Mike. If you need a streamer, Shikozim Okonkwo. Hey, Mike, you see how I presented that? You see how I pronounced his name?
Good luck.
I said it. Shikozim Okonkwo. Now, Shikozim, if I'm wrong, let me know what it is. Type it in chat. Send me a message. All that good stuff. Yes, Jason. When we finish. Okay. Okay. If you need a seriously, wow. That was me last week and you this week. Great. Okonkwo of the Titans against the Texans. Yes. Say hi to everybody. All right then. Stop trying to get up here when I'm doing something. I say all this time off the camera. Now you're gonna sit up in my face. Against the Texans. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Here's
can
the
give
crazy
him a
part.
hug.
The Titans don't look that good this season. He's gotten a couple of games where he's got numbers. Only a couple. He's been looking a little bit better recently. Only a couple of games. Yeah. This one I have to disagree with, even though he is a tight end that I have on my watch list. Even though he is. Tight ends that you should sit for this season. Dalton Kincaid of the Bills. Actually, for this week, Dalton Kincaid of the Bills against the Patriots.
I would not sit him.
There you go. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't
No
either.
way. No way.
Mm-mm.
He has been playing like he's distracted or hurt, but you know what? That this is the time. Like he's got to prove himself this week.
Gotcha. He's got to prove himself, but I wouldn't sit him. I can't. I can't. Kyle Pitts of the Falcons. I just talked about him. It's the defense they're up against. He hasn't really seen numbers either. He only has 6 games with double-digit fantasy points in 3 seasons. Still, maybe I'm going to put this. I'm going to attribute this to them playing against the Bears defense more than their offense because he can get the ball. He can get some numbers, just not a lot of numbers. So I look like I'm on the fence. I don't care. Taysom Hill, I wouldn't sit him either, but he had just scored 0.2 fantasy points, 2 rushing yards a ways back. Looked like he was developing a safe floor and a high ceiling for the Saints, but over the last 2 games, he has scored just there you go. He's not putting the numbers up. He's not
No,
putting
that
up.
yeah. New Orleans is the
There you
Saints
go.
are they're a mess.
They are a mess. They
They're
are
a
a mess.
mess. Tampa Bay is getting all kinds of praise right now,
Yes.
and you know who has been blindly following them all year.
You haven't been doing it blindly. You've been doing it healthy. You ought to be sick because they ain't 100% better off than what they are. It's like
Well, they had four games in a row they lost,
mm-hmm.
and then they found a way to turn it around. But I love Baker Mayfield.
Tucker Craft for the Packers against the Vikings. Sit him. I don't know much about it, dude.
He's good.
Keep going.
He's really good. He'll be phenomenal next year.
I like that.
Yeah, he's not there yet, but
So you want to watch.
yeah, I've been watching him. He's phenomenal. He might do well today. I have a feeling that Green Bay is going to break out today.
He
I think
faces
it's going to be a very high scoring game.
he faces a favorite type of a tough Vikings defense, which has allowed the second fewest yards of tight ends and no touchdowns since week 12.
Yeah,
So
I think this will be a good game. Good game to
that's
watch. Not as tight as what we watched last night. Not at all.
that did not sound right at all. Ladies and gentlemen, those are tight end
Mm.
recommendations for week 17 of the 2023 season in accordance with NFL.com. Let's see what Mike has over here. What is this?
Just play it. It's nice. It's a nice thing. You just have to push the little button.
That's what you do.
I have to push it?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
We're going to the playoff, baby! You got that right! You got that right!
That's your entertainment.
That's it.
You feel good about that?
I love that. I love that they're involving the young people in the game. The joy of being able to make the playoffs,
Absolutely.
considering they have not made it in so long. There's been so little to be happy about.
When's the last time
That,
they played the playoffs, Mike?
oh my God, it's been a while. It's since
Oh, 4
what?
or 5 years. No,
Yeah,
actually,
but when Baker Mayfield got them there.
it was 90 something.
Baker
2000.
Mayfield was the last guy who
It was
got them
3
in.
seasons ago. I think it was 3 seasons ago.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was his third year with them, and his second year was horrible. Yeah, so they finally have something to be happy about. Did you know that in the last 4 games, Joe has had more touchdowns than the Steelers have had all year?
Joe Flacco?
Yes, Joe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Did you know that he's had more touchdowns than the New York Giants
I
have
believe
had?
that.
And the New York Jets?
I don't believe that.
It's true. I saw it today. We should do some charts here for the MVP and everything near the end. I'm
No,
letting you.
they
I'm letting.
focus. See,
I'm letting.
let me go ahead. It's been 2 months. I focus on fantasy football positions more than the filibuster. Then I do the filibuster afterwards.
I love that, and you may have to explain that to some people what that word means.
Yeah,
That
especially
that
after 2.5 months. Anybody who took any type of government class in high school knows what a filibuster is.
you're basically saying I'm very political.
No,
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
basically, this is what I'm saying. Stay
And
focused. Kickers. Week 17, 2020 season codes. NFL.com, we're going to start with the kickers. They recommend starting Brandon Aubrey. You know what?
he is the only one who has not missed anything
You know
all
what's
year.
crazy, Mike? About 4 or 5 weeks ago,
Yeah,
I said his name, and I was going out on a limb
yeah.
because of the team he was on. He hasn't missed a kick all season, has he?
No, not one.
And I meant to say Harrison Butler's name before his name, but I took a shot on him based on how.
But he's not a kicker. He was a soccer player.
If he's a soccer player, that means you're going to keep him as your number one kicker from now on because soccer players do the best when it comes to kicking.
He did that because he needed to make a living.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Starting him against the Detroit Lions, no brainer. Y'all might want to relook at that game last night. It was hell. Damn good game though, but there's going to be some referee controversy off of this game specifically alone. Jason Sanders of the Dolphins, you have to start him. I keep him as a kicker, even against the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins now have Raheem Mostert. You said was what, Mike?
He's hurt.
Jalen Waddle was hurt.
Yes,
Tyreek Hill is hurt.
yes.
They got to get the ball downfield.
Yeah.
The field goes all damn day.
Devon Achan is hurt.
A chain, yes. We have Killer QB8. Thank you for being here. Or Killer QB8. Thank you for being here. Aubrey is amazing. Yeah, he's been kicking butt this season. No pun intended. No pun intended. Seriously. Cairo Santos of the Bears against the Falcons. He's logged 9 or more fantasy points in 5 of the last 6 games. He's been extremely reliable and scored as many as 16 fantasy points in a given week. So he brings upside. This week, the Falcons pose a matchup where the Bears can move the ball and set Santos off a field opportunity. I do see that. I was going to say that too. Good. I was correct. Let me being cocky. I'm being correct. Cameron Dick of the Chargers. They recommend starting him against the Broncos. The Chargers offense will get downfield. I can see this. I can see this. And this should be a blowout game. But Shane, I hope, has a good week. I tend to agree with you on that. You know what I didn't do? Mike, you got anything on these kickers? I forgot to do something.
Who do you think is the number one kicker?
I'm sticking with Aubrey.
For rating.
For who?
For rating, rank.
For what?
For rank. Kicker ranking for week 17.
Right now, I will go Aubrey. If he hasn't missed one all year, he's got to be top.
So they are saying right now, number one position is Jake Moody. Jake Elliott, Justin Tucker.
Go ahead, Mike.
Tyler Bass?
Yeah, he's from
of Buffalo, I think, right?
You're good, Killer.
Do you know what I would love to do, if it's okay with you? I'm going to share this with you because it's a lot easier for them to see this. There you go. That's for you, and you can say yes or no to it. It's the whole list right there.
Let me finish and then I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I do want to see that.
All right.
Kickers we should sit. Tyler Bass, there he is. I wouldn't sit him against the Bills. You try to tell me that against the Patriots. You trying to tell me that the Buffalo Bills won't get downfield against the Patriots? I disagree. I disagree 100%. But
he's number 5 in the league right now.
His team tends to score a lot of touchdowns, so he doesn't get the field goal opportunities needed in fantasy. That needs to be known. But I would still start him, even against the Patriots. I can't lie. Even though they'll get downfield, even though the Patriots do have a chance of stopping them, I would still start him. I would take a risk on him. Brandon McManus of the Jaguars against the Panthers. This is going to come down to how the offense goes. I'm not even sure if they'll necessarily make it the field goal range because the Panthers defense is being underestimated, and we got told that a couple of weeks ago. Honestly. Greg Joseph of the Vikings. Sit him against the Packers. Mike, you just talked about this game. You just talked about these two teams.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I think there's going to be all kinds of kicking. Sorry. I don't agree with you at all that it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be insane. I think it'll be like 41-30 or something.
He's reached double digits just 3 times this season. That's why they're saying that. We're going to see how that goes. Eddie Pinheiro, Panthers, against the Jaguars. The Panthers offense, what are they doing? Somebody out there tell me what the Panthers offense is doing because their record doesn't show it.
Well, their quarterback's hurt. It's been hurt all,
In the red zone a lot.
Trevor's a mess. I feel for him. Like
he is, but he was hurt. I got that.
You see everything.
Carolina, I don't know what's. We're going to see how that goes, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your kicker recommendations for Week 17 in accordance with NFL.com for the 2022 season. Let's see what Mike has over here with the kicker list.
Check it twice.
1 second. Killer quarterback. 8. I have one question for my flex. You can ask. Go ahead. We got the chart up. Jake Moody. Who's that number 2 kicker? It's a little blurry.
Jake Elliott.
All right. Read out top 10 for me in order, please.
Justin Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison.
Butler.
I think it's and it would just Tyler Bass. Bass. Okay. Chase McLaughlin.
As a kicker?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Is that McLaughlin or McManus?
Yeah. And then we've got Nick Folk, I think.
Nick Folk, yeah.
And this, I don't even know how to pronounce.
Do me a favor, Mike. Maximize that page a little bit. Come up about 2%. On the top right, you should have a magnifying glass as far as making the whole thing bigger.
Okay.
No, not that one. on the main window.
I don't think we can.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. I got to walk you through it like you walk me through shit on here. Hang on 1 second. Cool flex out of the Pacheco Godwin. Oh, Jesus. This week, I want to say Pacheco. I want to say Pacheco this week. Mike, the home window itself.
Yes.
On the top right, you see the 3 dots?
No, don't forget I'm on a whole different operating system.
I got you. I can't see what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
On the top right of your screen, look above it. You'll have
You're doing Windows. I'm doing Ubuntu. So
okay. So
yeah, we've been down this road before.
I know. Read those kickers off again for me, please. You had Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker. You had Bass. You said Chase McLaughlin as a kicker.
Yeah. And then we're at number 9 here is Jason Saunders. Jason
Sanders, Miami Dolphins kicker. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jason Myers, Evan McPherson, and Matt Gay, Matt Prater, Cameron Dicker.
Matt Prater. He used to be for the Lions. I remember him.
Yeah. Anderson Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Boswell.
Mm-hmm.
Young Ho
Koo. Atlanta Falcons kicker, yes.
Yeah. Brandon McManus.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Harvus. I don't know what that is.
I don't know him.
And Greg Joseph. And those are the top 20.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this is something that you should have in your arsenal.
I have run through it afterwards. Normally when I go through all the positions, we've covered everybody already. That's why I didn't repeat them. But
how many games this year, though? Think about it. How many games this year have been down to 5 or 6 field goals? And the majority of the points have been like even the Cowboys. There's been so many games where they had 5 field goals.
Yeah, you can have. That means both teams are on each other's case, which I can respect.
So are we open to doing other charts, or is there more things you want to?
I need to stay focused. You like doing charts. You like talking the game. You got to focus on the fantasy football aspect of things.
Fantasy. We're at what is it? 1 hour here.
And I try to do this in 30 minutes to an hour max. Look at what you do.
I got another
chart. Don't you think? Isn't it interesting? What about? Can I ask you? I got your killer quarterback. Thank you for being here. All right, last one, Mike, and then
beautiful. We can do it.
Where am I at? Defenses, ladies and gentlemen. These should be no-brainers. Rams defense against the Giants, absolutely. The Cleveland Browns defense against the Jets, absolutely. 49 defense against the Commanders, absolutely. The Jaguar defense against the Panthers, absolutely. And mind you, the Panthers don't have much of an offense in a lot of people's eyes. Carolina has to prove people wrong. Defenses that you should sit. The Dallas Cowboys defense against the Lions. I'm sorry. There was no way in the hell I was going to sit that defense. There was no way in the hell I was going to sit down the Dallas Cowboys defense against the Detroit Lions with all those offensive weapons that the Detroit Lions have, and Dallas' defense being the number 1 defense in the NFL at a time, more than one occasion this season alone. There's no way. I started Rams off waivers in the ship. Thank you. Absolutely. Anytime, and thank you for coming through. Killer Quarterback 8 off of Twitch, on Mike's side of Twitch, because it's paired, and I can see it's coming from his followers. I appreciate you. The Eagles
we've got to get this on TikTok.
Yeah, wait a minute. The Eagles defense. Start the Eagles. Sit the Eagles defense against the Cardinals. Nope.
Who said that? That's crazy.
I don't even care what they're saying. Now, no, just no. Sit the Lions defense against the Cowboys.
No.
You know why? Because you already know who to attack on the Cowboys offense. You don't sit them. And they were going to sack Dan Prescott at one point in everybody's eyes. Sit the Green Bay Packers defense against the Vikings. Nope.
I would. Yes. I think it's going to be high scoring.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I do. I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are your defensive recommendations for week 17. I'm gonna let you listen to the replay so you can see how much you interrupt me and do this on purpose. Then you want to get shamed. No.
So if you were to guess yesterday after watching the game,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Dak's number has gone up?
His stock value?
His stock value as an MVP?
Hang on, Killer Quarterback. Killer Quarterback 8. Hang on 1 second. This is my link tree. You can follow me. Stop. I'm okay. The whole world gonna see you. I'm gonna let you see yourself. You will. I'm gonna let you see yourself.
What other people think.
Do I really? You always
Yeah.
want to make a scene. You don't want to do this while I'm on the internet? Do you really want to? Exactly. Now, Killer Quarterback 8. That is my link tree. Please follow me there. Thank you for coming through, honestly. Thank you, thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious if you think his stock went up yesterday.
I do think his stock went up. I think he showed his value. I think he did.
I want to show you something here if I can. Let's see. All right. He is making mistakes, but he's not making mistakes that lose games. And I think, you know, that's the difference between what he was doing last year. He was doing stuff. Now, when he threw it out of bounds, he would have been better off to have taken the sack and the clock would have ran. And we wouldn't have had all that nonsense because they would have been able to have less time.
Okay.
If you want to share the screen here, I would love to discuss with you some of the individuals that have now been hovering around the MVP. So we've now got Lamar Jackson, who at the beginning of the year was not even really considered. What do you think the likelihood is that a non-quarterback will win the MVP?
A non-quarterback this season? I don't.
No.
I'm sticking with CJ Stroud right now. Who has been the most consistent rookie this season will be the question.
Oh, you're talking rookie. Okay, rookie MVP. I'm just talking straight up MVP right now. But yeah.
MVP of the league?
Of the league. We're looking at the odds right now. Favorites to win MVP NFL.
I kind of got to run with CMC. I'll say that. Killer Quarterback 8. Yes, I am on Twitch. Like I said, on my link tree, you'll see it up there. My Twitch is TonyTone72. TonyTon72. Go ahead, Mike.
Did you know that Barry Sanders had to share the award 1 year?
With who?
I can't remember, but he had 2,000 running yards. It might have been his rookie season. It's quite a while ago, but if you look at the statistical stuff that what has gone on for MVP, it's 99% that the team that won and the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought last year Jalen Hurts he was pretty damn good, except for that fumble. But that might have been the difference between winning and not winning.
Mm.
We were saying earlier this year that we thought it would be a repeat. I don't think it's going to be a repeat now. I was way off. It looked like that at the beginning of the year. It looked like it could be.
Who, Jalen Hurts?
No, the Chiefs and the Eagles fighting it out.
Everybody had it in San Francisco. The only reason people didn't have San Francisco above Philly was because it showed a weakness. If you don't have a quarterback, they're not going to win. That's the player. That's the NFC Championship game showed everybody about San Francisco. Other than that, San Francisco should have been considered.
Do you think Josh Allen has the chance to win if they can somehow find a way to win the whole thing?
Josh Allen?
He's right.
He won't win MVP. He won't win MVP. I don't think so.
He would have to win. He'd have to win it all, right? They'd have to find a way to win everything.
Killer Quarterback 8. Hang on 1 second.
Sure.
Donkey says, as a Chiefs fan, I'd just like to say no one beats us as good as we beat. Hey, That is mighty integral of you. That is mighty integral of you.
That's true of all people, though, buddy.
Swamp Donkey, I appreciate that. Killer Quarterback says it's either Lamar or CMC for MVP. I forgot about Lamar. I keep forgetting about Lamar. You know why? Because Lamar normally gets hurt. Lamar is the Michael Vick of this generation, and people love him. But he keeps getting hurt. Right now, he's healthy, and they're going to endure. So I'm going to give him that. But I think CMC has been a ridiculously monster player in the NFL. He has been. You have to keep a radar on him. You have to, have to, have to.
So if Tyree goes on fire at the end of the year and rushes for another 400 yards and hits the milestone of 2,000, do you think he
Who?
is going to win?
Tyreek Hill?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's out of reach that he could still get 400 yards.
In the whole season through the playoffs, yes.
Yeah.
If CMC doesn't win, I don't know what a running back is going to need to do. I have to agree, Swamp. That is huge. That is huge.
That's well done. I agree.
That is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
They're both amazing. I wouldn't be upset either. I got you, Killer Quarterback 8. I appreciate all of y'all for coming through. See, these guests that's coming in with the questions
Yeah.
and not being assholes, I think each and every last one of y'all.
He's not directing that towards me, by the
No,
way.
I'm not. I'm talking to
No,
some-
that's
yeah,
every
yeah.
other show, but not this show today.
Well, not every other show, just a couple of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Just a couple of them. There we go. It's the ad side. Oh, okay. The ads are popping up.
I haven't seen any negative comments today, buddy.
No, you haven't seen them today, but I've had them more than once.
Yeah.
I've had them.
Recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know I'm up here a lot. I get them. You're good, Killer. Oh yeah, I haven't started doing like my little segments and my commercials and shit. I actually thought about doing that. I wasn't gonna tell anybody, but since you brought it up, yeah, it has crossed my mind.
I saw what you did last night. Was it on TikTok?
I took that down because I was wrong.
No, but I liked it.
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought
liked
the
it.
lines were knocked out, but they were still in. I had to go back and check. I'm like, oh shit! So I had to pull it down. I had posted it too.
I think the one that you posted talked about it was promoting the show, and you basically talked about how it was a nail biter.
Yeah, I took it down because I thought the Lions were knocked out of playoffs. Thank you, Killer Quarterback 8. Anytime. This is definitely
They won their division. You know that, right?
I know. They want me to do one of the postseason, but I focus on the regular season more than anything, y'all. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Mike, I apologize. They did win their division, and I took it down because I thought they got knocked out of the playoffs. I was wrong on that.
Tony, where are you from? That we just got asked.
I live in Georgia. Mike lives in Canada, Toronto.
I live in Canada. We're a peaceful people.
Killer Quarterback 8, where are you from?
And anybody who's in the chat, if you'd like to share where you're from, we would love that. And it can even be in the future. The other thing, if you can, make sure that you take time to like, share, and subscribe. And get notifications of Tony D and his wisdom on TikTok every single night. He's going to do in the new, 40-second little clips every day. We'll call it Tony D's Wisdom Hour.
No,
it's only going to be 40 seconds.
I thought about doing that. Still,
you should.
About the blog. Yeah, there was some crazy calls last night. Killer Quarterback 8. I live in Georgia, but I'm not naturally from Georgia. I have been down here long enough to root for everything Georgia. I can't root for everything Georgia. I can't. But the Braves are great for the regular season. All right, Mike, what else you got?
I'm curious if to pick your brain just for something here, unless you want to wrap it up.
No, pick my brain. Go.
Okay. So we all know right now, if we can pull up the schedule here, I can try to get that for you. But there's still a lot of teams in the running here.
I'm a native of Queens, New York. I'm a Mets fan till I die. But I understand. Go ahead, Mike.
So who do you think of what's left have the greatest chance to get the wild card spots? And who are you rooting for?
Let's see what we got.
Because to me, I am blown away with the way the Browns have done that this year. And I want to give you due credit because you said at the beginning that the Browns had a chance. I said that I thought the Seahawks had a chance at the wild card spot, maybe at the beginning of the year. I also said the Steelers. I think the Steelers are no longer in it.
All right, let's see what we got. I can't pull it up if you got it,
And I'll have a quick look here for you.
because you normally have those ready. I don't. I've
Okay.
actually got ESPN on now, and they don't have it posted up there yet. What is in the Braves? Born and raised in Syracuse. I hear you. Upstate New York's in the house. I'm a native of Queens. I got you.
Okay.
Swamp Donkey. I don't know if they're gonna go that far. They're in the playoffs. They got to make it through the playoffs. Can he do it? Yes, especially with that team. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. It
Okay,
just
you ready, bud? I'm gonna.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'll send it to you here if I can find it. Oops, one sec here. All right, there you go. And it's a graph and everything for you. Okay.
That defense is elite in the playoffs. Favorite defense. The Browns. Hang on, Mike. The Browns have a team that should be in the playoff picture, championship picture, and Super Bowl picture. I still speaking of damn which, about time. You do realize the Lions are third seed in the NFL and made the playoffs this year. You host the football show. Be better. Do me a favor. I admitted that I was wrong. I've been up here. I said it more than once. I actually took it down. You're not wrong. However, you host a lot of shows, and you don't do better. What's up, Glick?
Is he available to come up for a
Yeah,
minute?
I've been sending him a link all season. He's normally not up, or he's doing so. I think he's out with the family this weekend. I think he did say
Is
that.
he? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's out with the family.
Well, I enjoyed the one time I was on a show. The
Yeah,
one time.
he's been doing more as he's been getting more comfortable and he's getting ready for a future. I actually acknowledge that straight up. So big ups to him and the
Yeah.
comfortability and all that craziness. But we still gonna talk junk to each other because I'm on your ass, son. I'm gonna lead a manager, but I'm on your ass. Just remember that, all right? Yeah, the Lions are third seed in the NFL, but I don't think it's gonna stick. Matter of fact, it has to stick. I'm not even just gonna be like, yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. Nah, I said at the beginning of the season, they got to win a playoff game. Dallas has to win 2 playoff games. I'm sticking to that. Until those 2 things happen, I'm not going to give 100% confidence. I'm going to give them credit for where they made it to, based on their history alone.
Yeah.
Seriously. What else we got up here?
So we got in the hunt, right? So we got the Chiefs,
Mhm.
Jaguars, the Bills, Colts, Buccaneers. Don't underestimate the Rams this year. They're phenomenal.
Let me see something real. The Rams, I actually was like, hang on one second. In the hunt for that's AFC and NFC right now?
Here, have a look here. See?
That's both of them. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay, scroll back down to the bottom.
Okay. There you go.
The Chiefs are going to be in there.
I think
NFC wise,
I think the Bills are in too, bud.
NFC wise is a problem to me. I could take the Bucks out. It's the Rams and them Seahawks. That's going to be an issue.
The Bucks are definitely in. The Rams.
They not going to go too far. I don't see the
No,
Bucks.
no. But hey, listen. It has been unbelievable what Baker Mayfield has accomplished. Like when, Tom Brady left, they basically said they had to rebuild from nothing. That
Exactly.
it was a mess. He's done that now with 2 teams. He did with your beloved Browns.
Mine. That's Bliss Beloved Browns. And they're mine.
They're yours, man.
They're Glitch. They're not mine. No.
The way you've been loving them
No.
and showing them respect all year,
Will
even
you
when I was.
Will you calm your metrosexuality up here, please? Good Lord. Keep going.
So on the bubble, we got the bubble here. And then on the very bottom here, we got eliminated. See that there? So we're not shocked with any of those teams.
Hang on.
A lot of people say the Raiders.
Yeah, I know you out of town, man. I'm just reading the comments, Mike. Hang on one second.
Sure.
I know you out of town. Tell everybody I said what's up for real. I saw you had an excellent Christmas. That was what's up, though. No, y'all ain't going far. You're right. Boston team ain't going that far. The Browns, I don't know if it was the Browns. People don't normally work out with the Browns. I don't know what the hell's going on. They're about bad
Yeah.
as the stats. Baker's stats are better than Brady's last year. Right now.
Percy Jackson is out.
I know.
Remember?
Yes, I do.
You watch it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm almost done. Mike just wants to keep it up here, and he knows.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You drag it on. You drag it
You.
on every week. I didn't go 2 hours.
We're trying to do a little entertainment here. That's all we're doing.
Like I said,
And the Broncos right now, I think, are more interested in getting some good picks next year. What do you think?
the Broncos, they have to on the bubble. On the bubble teams are the ones that's about to be dropped out. Correct. The Texans are going to fight to get in. The Bengals, I think, are done. Steelers probably going to try. The Raiders just might. The Raiders just might. Broncos are done.
They're playing well. How about the Steelers? Do they have a chance?
I don't think so. They're going to try, but I don't think so. Now,
Texans, I think too much has happened.
No, they'll try.
But
they'll
right,
be the money team. They'll be the money team. The Texans will be a money team.
I think what we're seeing here is the best chances. Chiefs, Bills, Buccaneers, Rams.
Rams and Seahawks.
Seahawks are well coached, buddy. I said that right from
the big NFC threats right now. They are
the Rams though have built something from nothing. You have to admit they built something from nothing.
For the Super Bowl or after?
After, like they were done, and then they've acquired so many great people. Hey, we haven't talked about Mike Evans at all. Not in the least. Did you know he's 6'5"? Did you know that? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing? Tony, where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
I'm right here. Y'all go ahead.
You don't want to talk Mike Evans?
We did that last week.
We're just messing with Tony here.
What about Justin Jefferson?
Go ahead.
Ooh,
that has not been covered this week.
Yeah. He's phenomenal, too.
Yeah, he's good.
So, Baker Mayfield, do you have more respect for him this year?
Much more.
And I haven't gotten any love from Tony D. Tony, do you have more respect for Baker
Mayfield? You were on the Baker Mayfield train, and I refuse to get on it, but what he's done...
I've never lost respect for him. I never lost respect for him.
You know why I like him so much? He's a fighter. All three of us in here we're fighters. We're all fighters. Sometimes we don't know what we're fighting for, but we're definitely we're fighters.
What else we got here? I'm just going through the comments, everybody, while you two talk.
Thank you.
Go Bucks.
So who's going to be in the winner's circle there, my friend? If you had to guess, let's say top four. Give us four, and then Tony. And if you want to end it there, Tony, I understand.
Rams, Seahawks, Chiefs. That's it. In the hunt list. Rams, Seahawks, Chiefs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
See here? Okay, so at the top here, we've got, they clinched a playoff spot.
Yep.
Okay, so we know all these people. They've done great. These are people. Can you believe the Chiefs are in the hunt? How crazy is that?
You've been talking about that for 2 months.
Well, I know, but I get no respect. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield of the show. Oh, we get sound effects in the background, though. Okay. You know, what's that saying? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
I'll be right back. Let me see something.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Bye, Tony.
So now that we have you here, we should promote you. How's your show going?
It's going great. It's going great. We, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
I don't know. I usually only do like once a week. I'm not that important. So
it's one of my favorite shows to watch every week.
Dude, I was expecting you to come up on Thursday.
I thought that was like a closeout show with your friend because you said half an hour.
Oh, that one. I'm talking about the day before.
No, I was talking about the one where it seemed really structured. And
yeah. Oh, okay. Yes.
And Tony was in the comments, and you were kind of like, no, we're doing this.
Those are extremely structured.
Yeah.
And we're coming in there, we're asking 5 questions, and we're shutting it down.
Yeah, and you talked about the networks.
Yes.
I loved it. It was great because it was something you don't usually see on Tony's show, which I like. I like when things are a little bit different, which is good. Tony's back. Hi, Tony.
So wait, are the Chiefs in the hunt because they haven't won the division?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I'm
Yes.
good, Killer Quarterback 8. Appreciate that, though.
Well, here's the thing. They've only had 9 wins and 6 losses. Who would have ever thought that?
Never.
It's
And
still a
and
winning
here
record.
and
Still a
and the
winning
Buck,
record.
yeah, and the Buccaneers are 8-7. Now that I thought for sure would happen.
But you didn't predict that division to fall off the cliff like that.
You think it fell off the cliff?
The entire division. Pull up what was it, NFC North?
But aren't they famous for that? Always being around 500?
Who, the Bucks or that division?
That division.
Maybe you know what? I might be misconstruing it
I think
with
you are. I think
NFC
you are.
West. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
That's okay. I can live with that.
You're right. I'm wrong. I can admit it. I can admit it.
Did you
Unlike
see?
some
Did
others.
you see the commentary last night with Tony D? It was great.
I did not.
It was on TikTok. He went on for a few minutes, and
No.
yeah.
I took
You
it
should
down. I took it down. It was wrong.
What happened? Was it Amnesty Hour?
No.
No, he was doing
I was doing a little
a
commentary on
plug.
the game last night.
Yeah, he was doing a plug for the show today.
You were doing like color commentary?
That would be good. Do you imagine how
What happened,
crazy
Tom?
that would be? That would be so good. We
I'm
should
just
do that.
listening to you two.
Listen,
I'm listening.
Why don't we do that?
Here's
Why
what I
don't
would
we
like to
do
propose.
some show in the beginning?
Here's what I would like to propose: one playoff game, maybe
Yes.
the Peacock game. That
Yes.
we can jump on. We could do a watch along, because it would, it wouldn't violate anything, and we could just chat
It
for
could
that
be
Peacock game, because
explosive.
not a lot of people have access to Peacock.
Yeah. Maybe we could do it for a Buccaneers game. Then we could talk about Mike Evans.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
The great Mike Evans, future New York Jet,
Could have
or
been
Dallas Cowboy, or Kansas City Chief, or
Kansas City Chiefs wanted him, but they felt like he was washed out.
Tampa
Tony.
wins the South, but they ain't going nowhere, y'all.
Tony, can you do me a favor and just pull
No,
up
champion.
Mike Evans' stats?
No, we did that before.
All right. We should finish this up. So, we looked at the eliminated. We were all very happy to see the Jets go this year.
No, we wasn't. What's wrong with you? No, we wasn't.
That was very sad. Do you guys want to talk about the Jets and
Nah.
what great dreams they had?
They are horrendous this year. The highlight of the season was the 4-time MVP running out with the flag.
Mhm.
That was it.
So on the bubble here that you're seeing,
Hmm.
let's say that you had to just choose one you think might have a chance of everybody here. Pick one. Just one.
Steelers.
Raiders.
Packers.
I could also see Packers, but you only
Packers.
said one.
Yeah. I had high hopes for the Steelers this year.
Yeah.
Had huge high hopes for them. And yet, you know what's wild? Their record is better than the Packers.
Yep. Could you imagine? I mean, and Tone, do you have a few minutes or no?
He's got to go.
You got 7 minutes. Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
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 So, Mike,
Yeah.
what's your take on? I mean, and we posed this question 4 days ago,
Okay.
but the group keeps expanding. The list keeps expanding.
Yes.
Where do you think Russell Wilson is going to go next season?
Oh, good question.
Because, I mean, people were talking about him like he's garbage, and I'm like, the guy's thrown 26 and 8,
Mhm. Well-
3,500 yards.
It all depends on how much he'll take a reduction.
Okay.
So if he takes a reduction, let's say he goes to the tier of about 30 million a year, which is what I think he's worth, about
Uh-huh.
30. You could easily see someone, I think, honestly, like the Vikings would
Wow.
love to. The Vikings would love to have him.
You
The
think they're
Raid,
ready to move on from Kirk Cousins?
yep.
Okay.
I think the Raiders would be open to having him.
I think the
Uh,
Raiders.
yeah. The other thing is the Panthers love to spend money,
Yeah.
but that would be a nightmare. So we'll see. You know, and I know that it has been a bit of a bust, and it hasn't been completely Bryce Young's fault this year.
No, 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 not at
What do
all.
you think, Tony? Has it been Bryce Young's fault because of the year he's had?
Tony, you with us? Tony?
I
Tony?
missed the question. I'm making him something to eat. What'd you say?
Oh, okay. You go make him something to eat then if you have to. No, it was just
Oh,
Bryce. It was
I
just
missed the
Bryce
question.
Young.
I missed the question.
Bryce Young. Do you think it's his fault this year, the way things have unfolded for him?
Hell no. They said you said he was too small. You said they didn't think he was going to make it.
Yeah, I
They made a
did.
whole bunch. I think it's because the whole team is brand new offense, everything. It's just I heard the defense is pretty good this year a couple times. They should have been. This season's disappointment. And as somebody who's been watching it from day one, this is a huge disappointment. There's no way in hell they should have been losing this bad. The rest of the NFL, I don't think is that much better than what they are and what they have. And they had a new drive, a new ambition, at least in my opinion, and it just showed that I was wrong. So I will call this season a disappointment and a big flop.
so Tony, answer this question. How can we actually grade this team when the owner is happy with replacing the coach every year?
I don't know. How can it? I was distracted. Sorry.
No, no, no. It's
Owner is
okay.
the issue. Yes, the owner is the issue. And we'll sit. Do what? Yes, you are, man. You feeling better?
What up, Jason?
Say hi.
Hi.
Mhm. It's the owner right now to me because they got rid of every damn body up there that hadn't at least gone to the playoffs and at least having a winning record. I got to go to the owner. I have to.
What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah.
You don't think everything starts at the ownership level?
I don't know, actually. There are some owners that stay out of the way.
Right.
There are owners that look at it as just an investment and let the coaches do what they need to do. If you look at Mike Tomlin, he has had very little interference for over 17 years, even when things were awful.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's had the freedom to do things. And I think he's accomplished a lot this year with a roster that is kind of not good.
Right.
So I think it's more coaching. I think it's chemistry in the room. But ownership is a very small part of it. And a lot of owners are smart and they'll spend big bucks in pursuit of getting, the Super Bowl ring, and then they'll sell all the assets off and look at it as just a business because they're businessmen. Where if you get guys like, Mike Tomlin, his whole life is football, live, breathe.
Yeah.
The owners are not wired that way. They're just very, very rich, successful billionaires who are used to having their own way and have tantrums. Some of them, if you're talking about like poor Bryce Young, like you do not want to be first tier pick. It doesn't end very well. You're better to be in the top 10. You imagine if he'd been picked, say, seed 12, how much better his life would have been this year. What do you think, Tony? And
I'm sticking with the owner. The owner being the issue right now. That's what I'm sticking with Carolina.
Yeah. All right. We going to wrap this up? We done?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay, buddy.
There's a movie he wants to go see.
Percy Jackson, the Olympians.
Percy Jackson.
That sounds like a good
Go
choice to
enjoy Percy Jackson with your dad.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
me. Have a good 2024, everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. Smoke, what's good, bro?
It's 2024.
That's tomorrow.
It's not 2024.
Smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ted Hicks, LateNightParents.com. Ways to follow the show, LateNightParents.com. We got Michael Bathurst over there. He's all over the place like I am. You all have my link tree in the chat. I want to thank everybody for coming through in all honesty. Smoke was here. Lamath Champion was here. Killer Quarterback 8 was here. Swamp Donkey 12 was here. And this comes from y'all sharing y'all's channels too. A few people's here. Nonsensical Nonsense was here. Happy holidays, Glick.
Golf Hawk.
Over there. Golf Hawk's in the house?
He's in the
Yes,
house.
he is.
Golf
He
Hawk
says-
was good. I'm scrolling up. I didn't see it, so that's my bad. Trying to shout everybody out. What I missed? Helen was here. Helen, happy holidays, lady.
The math champion in Australia.
Yeah, Charlie and Our Life podcast was in here. I appreciate him. JT was here. I appreciate JT. Tina DeRosa was here. Thank you for coming through. Walter White was here. Appreciate you coming through.
The real Walter White.
Bernie was in here. Appreciate him coming through. I will
Go Hawks.
drop down, and you might see me tonight before everybody starts acting up before New Year's. Everybody be safe if I don't catch you. Everybody be careful out there. Don't get no DUIs. They're looking for you. Don't get in a fight because the judge ain't coming back for a few days. They're going to take their time getting y'all out. I'm serious.
It's only one night.
Yeah, Smoke, if you come on there, let me know for real, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Enjoy the games. Check your rosters, and I'll see you all later on in the week, all right?